Hey guys, so today I want to talk about relationships and how bipolar disorder affects everyone around us. I feel like it's really easy when you are the victim, the person with the bipolar disorder, to feel your pain so much that although most people who are bipolar are super empathetic, sometimes it's hard to only feel our pain and not see the other person's pain as much. But also there's also an extreme immense amount of guilt that I feel towards the people that I hurt when I was sick. However, after counseling, I've been able to separate myself from that. But so basically how this started was today I was on Reddit and I had joined some Reddit, I had joined Reddit and started joining some subreddits. And I joined a few with bipolar in the title, and I just thought, they were all, this one said bipolar SOs. I don't even think I thought, well, what's an SO? I just joined the thread, and then I was looking at it today, and somebody posted something. There was a woman who posted, "Please help my bipolar significant other. I really want to leave the relationship, but I'm afraid they're going to kill themselves." So the first thing that I thought, my first inclination when I saw that thread and I started reading it, was to help the person who's sick, because I'm someone who was sick and I know how painful it was to be out of control like that and hurt someone around you. I feel like people that I hurt sometimes think that I feel no remorse for that, or I feel no guilt over that, or shame or sadness. And I do immensely. However, I also get frustrated at the same time because people get angry with me instead of my illness. I lived several years of my life unmedicated, and I had 4 severe episodes. For me, it was really hard because they were so far apart, and I had so much trauma in my life that I believed that the trauma in my life was causing my episodes. So after the first one, I was so young, I was 17, and it was years ago. There wasn't a lot of information about bipolar disorder. I was misdiagnosed. I was given medication that almost killed me because of an allergic reaction. So it would seem like my parents were feeling like they did the right thing by not demanding that I get help or demanding that I get on medication. Bipolar disorder is one of the most manageable illnesses out there. With medication, it can be managed. The hardest part about getting medicated is that it's difficult to accept your illness. And I've talked about this before on this channel, but how this whole thing started was when I was reading this person's post. I read one of the responses and it was so horrible. This really triggered me. So I wanted to share this response with you. It says, because this is a Reddit post for significant others, and she's saying, I love my husband, but we've been married 3 years and it's been a rocky road the whole time because he's bipolar and he's verbally abusive, and now he's telling me that he doesn't even love me, that he's in love with his ex still, and that he never really loved me. Personally, I just felt immediately like I had to tell this person, hey, you are hearing that out of his mouth, but that doesn't mean it's true. Your brain is so confused. I believe Jeff and I were just actors, that it wasn't a real relationship, and that was a delusion. So, but she really wanted out of the relationship, and this subreddit is for people who are venting about what they're dealing with in their relationship and whether they should leave or not. And it hurt me because so many people are unmedicated and so many people are victims of this disease, and their loved ones or the people with them can't handle it, don't know how to handle it, don't understand the illness, and suffer almost more than the person who's sick, if not more. I don't know. My situation was super extreme, but there are people who, there's all different kinds of bipolar disorder, and I know a lot of people out there have had extreme issues like myself, especially people with bipolar 1 psychotic episodes. But there's all kinds of things that are just as horrible that cause you to be verbally abusive to people, like, depression and anger. Anger is a big one, and it just comes out of nowhere. But this person said, I'm so sorry you're in this situation. That has to be so painful to hear. These bipolar people really do seem to know how to fuck with the people who love them the most. They just fuck with us and fuck with us. It hurts a lot. It sounds like you were in a bad spot with him not having a place to go. It isn't necessarily your problem, though. These people are resourceful when they have to be. They play the wounded dove, but they miraculously pull themselves together when forced to. Be absolutely sure you're really done with this BS and then take him to a hospital or find someplace else and you move out. Lots of vacant Airbnbs right now. So this person was basically blaming her partner for everything and just bashing bipolar people entirely. So I actually responded to this, and I thought about responding first because rarely do I respond to stuff where people are this angry or upset. But it just hurt so bad, and it really triggered me because looking through this subreddit, people are so hurt and so damaged by their significant others who have bipolar disorder. And it's not entirely our fault. To an extent, it can become our fault. If we're someone who is watching our world crumble around us and we're not getting help, and we have loved ones coming to us saying, hey, please go to a psychiatrist, please get help, you need help, please, our relationship will not survive unless you get help. That is totally different from someone who's on their own and having to make their own decision to take medication. For me, I was alone. And I know there are a lot of other people out there. There are people whose parents don't believe in this, young people who have severe emotional issues and don't know what's wrong with them. And their parents are not supportive in a way. They're embarrassed by the disease, and so they don't address it. There are so many horrible things that come with this illness. And it's so hard to help a loved one, especially because when you're bipolar, you don't recognize your symptoms. You don't understand. And there are a lot of people who become super sick in an episode and are verbally abusive to their loved ones, come out of it and don't remember anything. I don't remember so much from when I was manic and psychotic, like so much. I have had to reach out to people that have been standoffish or kind of dismiss me from their lives and ask them, hey, did I say something to you when I was manic? Did I do something to you? And I don't even think that I always get the truth. So I guess I want to make clear in this video, it's okay if you're someone battling a mental illness and you don't know what to do. If you're someone who has severe depression and it's not impeding anyone's life but your own, you think, well, maybe I don't have a significant other that I'm damaging, or maybe my family isn't worried about me, or whatever. You're hurting yourself. And if you're hurting yourself, you're hurting your loved ones, because they will see it and they will be affected by it. So it's really important that if you can, because there are also financial barriers for a lot of people who don't have access to health care, do whatever you can to get yourself help. And if you are someone that is with someone at your wit's end, so many of these people were just so hurt. This person who posted this after I responded to him because I said, bipolar is a brain disorder that causes you to do things that you have no control over. Just like someone with the flu throws up, bipolar people do not fuck with you for the joy of fucking with you. It's a chemical imbalance, a medical issue, and needs to be treated as such. If you know someone with bipolar, please do some research. You could not be more wrong about your reaction. So this person had 2 relationships with someone who had bipolar disorder. I don't know if I actually so he responded, okay, and it says, it doesn't matter what the cause is. A psychopathic murderer may have a biological drive to kill you versus a choice. It doesn't make you less dead if you become a target. Sure, I get it. They can't help it. I only spent 24 years at the mercy of 2 bipolar people. But there comes a time when the effect on you is the same regardless of how much control they may or may not have. Their lack of control doesn't mean that loving someone with this disorder obligates you to forever put up with whatever horrors they put you through or to sacrifice yourself for them forever. That's true. If you're being damaged by a relationship, you should leave. If it's too much for you, not everybody can handle being with someone that's bipolar. However, if you are someone that's with someone who's bipolar and you want it to work, you need to get therapy for yourself, because there's going to be things that you don't know how to handle or deal with, and it's so hard to separate. If you're in a relationship where you're with someone who's been on medication and responsive to medication and taking medication, that's also different. You know, they're managing their illness, but you need to be supportive of that. So like Jeff, like, he knows I'm on my medication now, but he makes sure that I'm sleeping. He actually gets upset with me if I'm staying up too late and not getting enough sleep. Like, it's something that we monitor as a couple, like, to make sure that I'm safe and okay. We have financial things in place because of my illness, like in terms of, you know, property in our name and whatnot because of my illness. These are things that had to take place in our relationship, and I recognize that. But to get to this point, it took me 4 episodes, and the last 3 of them, all 3 of them, could have cost me my life. But the last one is where I was run over by a car. I almost lost my freedom for 3 years, getting arrested for a very serious charge. So yeah, I didn't hurt anyone, but I went into someone's house. So I almost lost my freedom. That's what it took for me but it also took the support from those around me. If you're someone who doesn't have that support and you've been making yourself suffer for a long time, not knowing that you're doing that, it's okay. It takes a lot for us to come to that conclusion. Anyway, I know this has been a super long video, but I guess I had a lot to say. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.